One of WWE's most unpredictable nights of the entire year was all that and then some. Money in the Bank 2022 has come and gone, and let's talk about this pay-per-view that has the wrestling world talking for both good and, quite frankly, bad reasons. First, let's talk about the women's Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch, Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Lacey Evans, Asuka, and of course, Shotzi. So the match got started and it was an interesting dynamic at first. Raquel Rodriguez was made to be the big threat of this match, and you saw several different points. She had the spot where she was trying to lift, I believe it was Liv Morgan and a Lacey Evans up with with a ladder. There we go. She's trying to lift the ladder up with both those women on it. She was unable to do so. Would have been a cool spot in theory, but it wasn't really. It didn't just go well at all. You also had a few different spots in this match where they were all ganging up on Raquel Gonzalez, and it was originally made out that she was a threat, but slowly as the match progressed, she became less and less of a factor. And it wasn't like one of those things where she was taking out of the match entirely. She was just non-existent for the latter half of this match. Anyway, some of the big spots included a big running start from Liv Morgan onto the ladder that was wedged in the corner with Raquel Rodriguez. Big knee to the face. You also had a spot where Becky Lynch, as you can see right there, just catapulted herself onto like every woman in the match on a ladder. It was crazy. You also saw a big suplex spot. Another huge spot in this match. Becky Lynch just throwing caution to the wind and going full on Jeff Hardy. She went to the top of the ladder and then dove off and tried to go through Asuka, who was already on a ladder wedged between the ring and the announce table. It didn't go as planned because the ladder didn't break, so it ended up looking way worse. And I mean, it looked like it hurt way more than it would have. And for those of you who don't know, when a ladder breaks, it actually helps not cushion, but it helps lessen the force in which you hit your opponent, so both people feel it less. But when it doesn't break, you just kind of bounce there. Boom, you feel everything. And these ladies were definitely in pain after that. Ending sequence of the match saw, I believe, all 6 women on the ladders vying for that briefcase, vying for that title shot. And in the end, it came down to Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. Becky's on one ladder, Liv's on another. They're fighting out, and then Becky pushes the ladder away, only to have Liv take her leg out there, stick it out, I should say, and bounce all the way back, kick Becky Lynch off, and become Miss Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan won the women's Money in the Bank ladder match and an unencumbered title shot somewhere in the near future. I have a feeling we'll come back to this one. But overall, I thought it was a good opener. There were some clunky spots in this match. Yeah, it's a free-for-all ladder match. They're bound to be. Very rarely do you have a multi-person ladder match where it isn't, a cluster muck. But I thought the ending sequence was so good. Literally the last 5 to 7 minutes of this match, I thought were really great and compelling. So I thought they did very well. And honestly, throw all the crap out the window. Liv Morgan won this match. Was it a year after she was supposed to win it? As in the fans' eyes, at least a year after she probably should have won it? Yeah. Hell yeah. But she won it here nonetheless, and it was a huge moment for both Liv Morgan and the fans. They loved it. Good choice here. Moving on, you had Austin Theory defending his WWE United States Championship against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Beginning portions of this match saw Theory basically cowering in fear of Bobby Lashley. Multiple spots where he went out of the ring to catch his breath, made Bobby Lashley wait. He was a cowering heel. And then Theory went Super Saiyan for some reason. He was out there giving Bobby Lashley clothesline after clothesline after clothesline, doing big, meaty spots on him. I was like, what is happening? And in the whole thing about this match coming in was, we know that the in theory, I should say, the match at SummerSlam is John Cena versus Austin Theory. Don't know how realistic that is given John Cena's schedule right now, and given the fact that they haven't really hinted towards it anymore. But the way I see it, it was either you're going to make Austin Theory look strong, have the United States Championship, put that on the line at SummerSlam, or you're going to take the title off him so you could focus on something else with the title and then just have Cena and Theory be the focus. But given that, you also would give Austin Theory a loss, which is exactly what they did. Bobby Lashley picked the little man up. He put him down. 1, 2, 3. New United States Champion, Bobby Lashley. But here's the thing. Nobody's talking about it because no one cares about the United States Championship. Let's be honest here. It is a joke of a title. Like, the 24/7 championship is more interesting right now than the United States title. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. At least with the 24/7 title, it's unpredictable, and you'll watch because you might see something at least somewhat interesting and new and fresh or whatever. With this, it's just like they just toss it around. That's all they do. They just toss it around. It's what it is. It's crazy. By the way, I did not like Austin Theory just doing spears on Bobby Lashley. Like, I get it. He's bigger than he used to be, but he's like, I don't know. It's just not good for Lashley. And like, it's not like it was some big babyface doing this to a big bad heel. This was a heel doing it to a big bad babyface. It's just, I don't know. I just did not like it. Bobby Lashley, new champion, great. Let's just say the events that would follow definitely made Bobby Lashley the afterthought in this match. Moving on, we have Bianca Belair versus Carmella for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, one of the best performers in WWE, period. You also have Carmella, who is no slouch. Carmella came out to some new music. Early spots saw Bianca Belair kind of teasing Mella. She was doing her old butt slap. Funny spot from Bianca Belair. And it was interesting. I like the way they built this match. Like, I know a lot of people want to say, like, oh my God, like it was boring and Carmella doesn't really do well in these in technical matches or what have you. And like, but here's the thing. One, it was a good match. I thought it was a good match. I thought that they did exactly what they were supposed to go out there and do, which is have an entertaining title fight. That's what it is. Like, Carmella is never going to be a workhorse in the ring to the level of a Sasha Banks, to the level of a Bianca Belair. It's never going to happen. But what you can do is you can make Carmella a threat as a heel and make her matches entertaining, which is exactly what they did here. I thought it was cool. Now, the one thing I did not think was cool, and I think I hate so much about Carmella's matches, is Corey Graves on commentary. I understand they're married. I understand you have a show where you talk about that they're married. I understand that Carmella and Corey Graves definitely love each other very much. Mazel tov. I don't care. When it comes to this, when it comes to the in-ring action, when it comes to Carmella having a WWE World Title match, I don't care. Talk about the match. Talk about the story. Talk about anything else other than the fact that, oh my God, Carmella. Like, Corey Graves is literally turning into Jerry Lawler, but right before our eyes, if he hasn't already. He's doing the corny jokes. He's chilling out for his wife, like Jerry Lawler did back in the day with the cat. Like, and again, I'm not saying get her over, totally get her over, but get her over as a heel. Get her over on her own merit. Don't get her over because, oh, I'm married to her. Michael. Okay, that was more JBL, but you get the picture. I mean, it was, yeah. It was what it was. It's not for me. I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, they're so cute or whatever. It's not for me. The end of this match. I have to talk about the end of this match because this was one of my favorite spots of the entire night. I loved the fact that Bianca Belair, she's known to be a very I don't want to say meek, but like she's a baby. She's a baby face. She's a baby face in every regard. And very rarely do you see fire from Bianca Belair. At the end of this match, they did a spot that I absolutely loved. They had Bianca Belair on the ground, Carmella making fun of her. Carmella gives her a big slap. And that awoke a fire under Bianca. And you saw her expression change. And she went full Terminator mode. Like, oh, hell no. It's done. It's done. And she hit her he punched her right back. And then hits the KOD. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair retains. Moving on, we have the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line. The Usos versus my boys, Montez Ford and Big Doc, Angelo Dawkins. This was one of the best tag team matches of the year. Right up there with here's the thing. I don't think any tag team match, or not a lot of matches, honestly, are going to ever beat the Briscoes versus FTR. But we're talking about like a top 5. This match is totally in it for tag team matches. I mean, these guys went out there, put on a clinic, an absolute clinic. Near fall after near fall after near fall. Everybody took a beating. Everybody had like a stretch of this match where they just took a beating and did a hot tag to their opponent. It was, or their partner. It was amazing. I absolutely loved this. I mean, it was. Go and watch this match. Go. It had everything you could want. The amount of tag team tandem offense we saw in this match, it was second to none. Like these two came out there and said we're gonna steal the show, and they did absolutely that. Even the big dog, Angelo Dawkins, who isn't really prone to flying. He was flying in this match. I mean, Montez Ford, look at that. We already knew he could fly. Montez Ford flies every match, and he did. Like, I love that spot, by the way. I think Montez Ford, I know this is I'm not trying to disparage Angelo Dawkins here. Montez Ford should be a world champion in WWE or in any other company. Like, this dude has it all. Like, he's charismatic. He's great in the ring, and he can fly. He can literally fly. Like, the amount of times I've seen this man. I don't care how many times I see the spot where he runs from one corner into the other and jumps over the turnbuckle to the outside. I will never get tired of that spot. It is my favorite spot in wrestling right now. Montez Ford should be a future world champion. He's just not a tag team champion. As in the end, we saw the Usos pick up a controversial victory where Montez Ford's shoulder was actually up, but the referee didn't see it. So look for these two to run it back at SummerSlam in a great, great match. Speaking of interesting matches, I should say, we saw the Women's World Championship on the line. Ronda Rousey versus Natalya in a feud apparently built around the fact that Ronda Rousey left to have a baby, and that's a bad thing. Okay. This was a good match. And it's overshadowed by what happened immediately afterwards. But I think Natalya and Ronda Rousey went out there and did exactly what they were supposed to do. I thought the one big critique I have of this match was I think Natalya got a little too much in early on Ronda. And they tried to cover it up, I think, well enough where Ronda was, you know, like she was being cocky and she was like playing around or whatever. But I thought like the amount of like reversals that Natalya was doing, I was like, okay, I get it. But I'm also like, you know, I guess it's Natalya though, so she's great. Like she's if there's anyone in WWE who could like reverse Ronda Rousey that many times, it would be one of the best, if not the best, technical wrestler in the women's division, right? But this was a good match. I liked the way it was built. I liked the way it was structured. I was entertained. I thought that the back and forth with the submissions, like that was obviously going to be the story of this match. If this match was an ultimate submission match, that would have been dope. I would have liked to see this match as an ultimate submission match. But In the end, we saw Ronda Rousey after the story of the match became her knee. She took a bump on the outside, hurt her knee. Natalya was working on that sharpshooter multiple times. Ronda Rousey picked up Natalya. I said Charlotte, didn't I? She picked up Natalya for an fireman's carry, but her knee gave out. Natalya was able to take advantage of that, put her in a sharpshooter, and didn't work because Ronda Rousey got out of it, and Ronda Rousey ended up picking up a victory here after she got the armbar in. But that wasn't it, because immediately after she retained her title, we saw Liv Morgan, yes, Liv Morgan, Miss Money in the Bank, come out and cash in her Money in the Bank contract. Ooh, baby. I was hyped. I jumped out of my seat. Go watch the live stream, people. I jumped out of my seat when this happened. Liv Morgan cashes in, immediately tries to go for a quick victory. Ronda Rousey able to get her in the ankle lock. Liv Morgan got out of it. The second Liv Morgan won this match, which she did, the second she won this match, erupted. Like Las Vegas, the MGM Grand Garden Arena erupted with just it wasn't just excitement. It wasn't just adulation. This was like almost redemption. I'm struggling to find the word. Like this was euphoric. It was truly euphoric because the crowd was chanting, "You deserve it," almost immediately when Liv Morgan won her first WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Like, this is awesome. This was in a moment that should have happened a year ago. Liv Morgan should have already been a champion. Should have probably happened going into WrestleMania in the Royal Rumble. They did it now. Can't say that they didn't do it. They definitely delayed it. But in the end, it was still an epic moment. And look, WWE, they don't tell good stories, right? That's not the point of them. They do not tell good storylines. They don't have good storytelling. It's fine. What they do have are great moments, and this was one of them. Big ups, big shout out to Liv Morgan, your new WWE Women's SmackDown World Champion. I know it's not world, but I like saying world because it is a world title. I don't care what anyone says. It's a world title to me, damn it. Finally, by God, finally, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Riddle versus Rollins versus Madcap Moss versus Drew McIntyre versus Omos versus Sheamus versus my pick, who was Sami Zayn. Yeah, didn't work out too well for Sami, spoiler alert. All 7 men got into the ring, and they were ready to go. The bell was about to ring, and then Adam Pearce comes out. Adam Pearce comes out and announces, "You know what would make this an even more epic Money in the Bank?" Okay, that was more Jesse Ventura, but you get my picture. He said, if we added one more person, everyone's looking around. Who could it be? Oh, is someone returning? Is someone defecting from AEW? Is it someone returning from injury? Who could it be? Well, guess what, guys? It was Las Vegas, his favorite son, Austin Theory. No. Yep. It was Austin Theory. And for those of you who are watching my stream, my reaction to this is almost as bad as what happened about 20 minutes later, which we'll get to. Austin Theory joined the fray, making it an 8-man men's Money in the Bank ladder match. To everyone's disappointment, the crowd was booing this. They weren't excited about this. And it really took away from what could have been an awesome match. I mean, one of the big stories of this match was them getting over the size of Omos. Omos was the big monster heel, much in the way Raquel Gonzalez was in the opening match. In this match, though, they took a different route, and they decided to actually take him out of the match multiple times. They had a spot where they piled multiple ladders on him. I thought it would have been cool if they had done like a spot where Omos actually jumps out or digs himself out of these ladders like a big monster. That could have been a cool visual. They didn't do that. He just kind of got off on his own and then came back into the ring. They ended up taking him out on the announce table. All 6 men, because Theory wasn't there, because Theory was hiding most of this match. The 6 of the men took Omos and threw him through the announce table, taking him out of this match completely. And then we saw tricky Austin Theory win this match. Just when you thought everyone was, I know a lot of people thought Riddle was going to win. A lot of people thought Rollins might have won. No, it was Theory. Your new Mr. Money in the Bank, Austin Theory. To say this is the disappointment would be an understatement. People were booing. The internet went crazy. I went crazy. My reaction was just stone-faced for about 2 minutes, like straight silence on my stream. It's a decision. Will WWE pay it off? I don't know. But one thing's for sure. Someone said this in our chat, by the way, during the live stream. This is WWE booking. Have a great show to just end it in disappointment, and that's what they did. They disappointed everyone. Except for apparently Vince McMahon, who sees Austin Theory as the next John Cena, which he's not. I can see that. But, yeah. Overall, I thought Money in the Bank, up until the main event, this was one of my favorite shows of the year. Genuinely. And here's the thing, I enjoyed WrestleMania both nights. I thought WrestleMania, like the first night, was amazing. I think for me, up until the Money in the Bank ladder match, I was like, this is right up, like this might be even better in my eyes, right? It might be better in WrestleMania as an overall show. However, the main event, adding Theory to the match, and then on top of that, having him win by doing nothing. I know it's supposed to be garnering heat. Austin Theory's go away heat for me. It is what it is. It really impacted my feelings towards the show. And it's a damn shame because WWE put on a great show. Liv Morgan, like Liv Morgan also like helped save the show as well because she's so awesome and she deserves it and we love her. But Austin Theory really dragged this, didn't he? Overall, out of 10, I will give this show a solid 7.5. Yes, that is how much Austin Theory impacted my feelings on this show. Also, obviously, there were some botches throughout the show that, were pretty flagrant, to be honest with you. But it happened. It's wrestling. I'm not saying I could do better. They'll get better. Okay? But yeah, that's just me being critical. Overall, though, I thought it was a very enjoyable show. One of my favorite of the year. The Usos versus Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Amazing. Like I said, one of the best top 5 tag team matches of top in my eyes. I think for me it might be the third best tag team match of the entire year. Because I loved the Briscoes versus FTR. I also like the New Day versus the Usos versus Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. But this was right up there with them. Anyway, y'all let me know what you guys think about Money in the Bank. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.